Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I am your host, Tom Downey. The Cowboys play the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, another primetime game. So let's preview what to expect in Week 10 of the NFL season. Man, we really are already at Week 10. So the Cowboys, as Ezekiel Elliott says, it's a must-win game. They're 3-5. If they lose another, they fall to 3-6. They'll be 2.5 games back of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a bad idea to lose this game if you actually want to win games. The Eagles, meanwhile, in their favor, coming off of a bye. Well, that's very helpful there for Philadelphia. So predict the score, folks. Cowboys versus Eagles. DM me on Twitter. If you get it right, I'll send you guys $25. You have to be the first, though, to get it right. And by the way, please include what team wins. Too many of you guys just send me 21-17. I don't know who you're actually picking to win the game. That's like the whole point of this. So again, DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. Now you saw the spread there. Eagles by 7. Well, chatsports.com/bet is where you can bet on that game with that spread. Promo code Cowboys120 gets you a 120% deposit bonus. What that means is, put down $100. They're going to hand you $120 for free to bet with for a grand total of $220 on BetDSI. Again, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys120. All right, let's talk injuries now for the Dallas Cowboys because there are quite a few that are worth mentioning at this point. Zack Martin, I think he'll play. He played last week. He's going to be fine. Deonte Thompson, a surprise early, did not participate on Wednesday with ribs. I think he'll be okay, though. Same with Taco Charlton, who played and came back after his injury against the Titans, so he should be okay. Randy Gregory did not go last week coming off that knee scope. I put him as questionable for now, but if I had to guess one way or the other, I think he plays. Jeff Swaim, he is a true toss-up for me. The Cowboys are going to try and get him out there. They want him out there. It's a must-win game. I lean more towards 50-55% chance he plays, but the rest of the week will be critical for Jeff Swaim. Now some guys who I don't think we're going to see. David Irving, a high ankle sprain. He might try and push himself back, but he was in a lot of pain when it first went down. I'll put him as doubtful for now. He's not officially ruled out yet, but I'd be a bit surprised. Same, too, with Tavon Austin and Joe Thomas. They have yet to practice this week. I don't think they come back quite yet. And Connor Williams, Sean Lee, we know those two guys are out. They are not going to play against the Eagles this week. Let's talk keys to the game for the Cowboys against the Eagles. First up, and it's the most important one that's been the case for several weeks now, wake up the run game. I don't really know what the main problem is. There's a bunch of different stuff, the offensive line, the play calling, all of it. But the Cowboys have gone from the NFL's best run offense to an offense that all of a sudden, the past month or so, is having a really hard time running the football. Nothing against Tennessee, nothing against the Redskins, nothing against Houston. No surprise, they lost all 3 of those games. Hopefully things change this week, but we'll see how they fare with no Connor Williams. But I do want to know from you guys, how many rushing yards will Zeke have against the Eagles? In weeks past, I've been putting the over-under around 100 or 90 or 80. Look, at this point, I'll put the over-under at 65. The lowest over-under I've ever gone for Ezekiel Elliott because the Cowboys have not been able to run the football. All right, some more keys to the game. This one again on offense here. Dak, you've got to stop the mistakes. And that's not all Dak's fault, but he does not look like the guy we saw in 2016. The interception in the end zone, that was just forcing it into double coverage, going with the first route, and pressure also played an impact there. The fumble, you got to protect the ball, Dak. I know the guy's ripping it out at you, but you can't do that. Dak's best attribute in 2016 was he didn't make mistakes. He was consistent and steady and safe. This year, in part because he's had to throw it a lot more, and there's been more pressure, and just a lot more mistakes by Dak. That's not good. So do you guys think that Dak is the Cowboys' franchise quarterback? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I've never felt less confident in Dak Prescott. How about that? Let's put it that way. The more and more I watch of Dak, the more my greatest fear of the Falcons game broke him and the entire offense seems like it's coming true. All right, some more keys to the game here. Well, this one I think is kind of obvious. It might actually be cheating. We'll see what producer Brett thinks. Better third down defense. He nods yes at me. He thinks so. The defense, way too many third downs allowed. It's easy to point that out. Hopefully Rashard and Marinelli can figure that out this week. All right, next key to the game. Guys, remember Cole Beasley? It's baffling to me how, and I blame most of this on Scott Linehan, by the way, Beasley goes from impactful to non-existent almost every single week. Non-factor against Tennessee until late in the game. Was good against the Redskins. Had that great game against Jacksonville, and was also a non-factor against Houston. It's not like he's not getting open every play. It's that Linehan, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to run plays to his skill position or to his top players. He runs the plays he likes regardless of what the talent actually indicates. So maybe get Cole Beasley more involved. Just a thought. Next up, play desperate. I'll be honest, I almost put this down as lose so that Garrett could get fired, but I guess I'll give that one more week. Play desperate. If you don't win this game, season's over. It might already be over, but it is for sure over because you ain't coming back from 3-6. So you better play like your hair is on fire, and you better give it everything you've got, players and the coaching staff. If you got anything in the back pocket, now is the time to use it because this is a must-win game, as Ezekiel Elliott said. Now, folks, we're trying to get to 5K subscribers on our Cowboys Report YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. All of our great coverage, all in one spot. Oh, by the way, this preview is available exclusively on that YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. Let's take a look now at the depth chart here for the Cowboys playing the Eagles this week. No changes at the top for quarterback. I know you guys don't always like it. Dak is still your best option. Rush is not very good. Mike White is inactive, and he's super raw anyway. At halfback, Zeke's your guy, Roger number 2, and look, Jameis Olawale, he's not even being used. Why'd you trade for him? He's not a Keith Smith. He's a better option in the passing game, and the Cowboys continue to just more or less neglect him, but it is what it is. It's Linehan. I'm just over it at this point. Your top receivers, everyone freaked out on Twitter on Sunday when Allen Hurns was going to start. And then guess what? Gallup got the vast majority of the snaps. You should listen to me, guys. You can list whoever you want as a starter. This is the real depth chart, though, right here at receiver. It's Cooper, it's Gallup, it's Beasley, and then it's Hurns. Thompson, Austin banged up, but I do think that Thompson plays. Now, speaking of Cooper, how many yards will he have this week? I almost nailed the over-under. I put it at 55.5 last week. I'll bump it up this week. 63 yards is the over-under for Amari Cooper. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. All right, on now to tight ends. If Swaim is able to go this week, I think we'll see him. Maybe not as much in terms of the overall massive snap share that he's had before. I'm still going to list Dalton Schultz as the number 2. Blake Jarwin, for whatever reason, as we discussed earlier this week, is the go-to passing option, which I just don't think makes any sense. The Cowboys overall, they don't know how to use tight ends. They just don't understand it. It's like a college offense out here. Offensive line, this is where things get dicey. Now, Redmond was battling Suafilo for that starting guard role with Williams out. I think Redmond will win it, but we'll see what happens. And by the way, Eagles, we'll talk about this later, a very good defensive line. I'm fairly concerned about how Redmond and Looney will fare up front. Looney's been good, but Redmond couldn't make the Bills, guys. It's worth having a bit of a fear about. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What that means is go put down $100. They will give you $120 for free to bet with for a grand total of $220. That's chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is Cowboys120. All right, defensive line now. Now, Crawford played plenty at defensive end. I do think that Gregory is able to go this week. I think you'll see plenty more of Crawford at defensive end, but for now, I'll list him at DT. You'll see more of Antoine Woods. You'll see Malik Collins. Daniel Ross and Karan Reed, by the way, both looked pretty good against Tennessee. So Crawford will play some defensive end, I think, but for now, I'll continue to list him as the DT, with Taco Charlton also playing a big role. All right, linebackers, you're a little bit thin right now because you don't have Joe Thomas and you don't have Sean Lee. The good news is Jaylon Smith and LVE have been fantastic so far this year. We saw a little bit of Chris Covington. He's kind of your number 4 right now. Damian Wilson, I think, will kind of be your next man up in those base packages. You could also see some more big nickel sets with Lee out. Now, who will have more tackles against Philadelphia? Type L for Leighton Van Resch, J for Jaylon Smith. At this point, I kind of figure each week that those two are going to be at the top of the tackle leaders. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section. On now to the secondary. Byron Jones remains your number 1. He's been very good. Chidobe Awuzie has frankly had some issues and has been picked on quite a bit because they don't want to go with Byron. Anthony Brown's been, I know you guys don't like him, but he's been fine. I wouldn't mind, though, seeing more Jordan Lewis. Jeff Heath and Xavier Woods are almost your only top two safeties. Kavon Frazier has really not played all that much this year. And frankly, I don't really blame the Cowboys. Frazier is not that good in coverage. All right, on now to special teams. Money Maher wasn't so money last week. Not that it really ended up mattering all that much. Chris Jones also had a bit of a bad punt. That's a bit of a red flag at this point right now. Deonte Thompson, well, he is still your special teams guy, but he's battling rib injury. Maybe you see some more Jordan Lewis on kick returns. I think he'd be the next man up if the Cowboys do need some more time out there, but we'll see what ends up happening on that one. All right, folks, once again, I am Tom Downey. Go follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney for more Cowboys coverage. We'll take a look now at some of the key matchup in my eyes. That is the Cowboys offensive line versus the Eagles defensive line. Tyron, I thought, was better this week, but he still has had some issues, and Lael Collins continues to be Lael Collins. Frankly, I'm kind of concerned about the way he's played as of late. Now, I'll make one more note here before we get to the Eagles part. Those two have to be good because your left guard center spot, that's a worrisome tandem for me. Alex Redmond, I think, will start, but we'll see how he fares. The Cowboys seem to trust him. He was the guy when Zack Martin suffered that injury a week ago. He was the guy that got in, so I think Redmond will be the guy, but here's my concern. This Eagles defensive line, it's good. Now, it's not as deep as it's been in maybe years past, but Michael Bennett, Lodi Nada, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Chris Long, a promising youngster, and Josh Sweat. Again, no Derek Burnett, he's out for the year. But those two guys in the middle, those two big boys, Cox and Nada, that's concerning for me. I don't like this matchup. I think it favors Philadelphia, and that's a worrisome thing given the Cowboys' struggles up front on the offensive line, especially on the road like this week. So predict the score time. Cowboys versus Eagles, who you got? And send me your score prediction. So again, at WhatGoingDowney, if you want a chance to win $25, DM me on Twitter. DMs are open. Send me your score prediction. Who wins? If you get it right first, you will get $25. No one got it right last week. So again, our Week 10 preview here. The Cowboys, they're 7-point underdogs. The over-under is 43. Producer Brett and I have made our predictions. I've got the Cowboys Cowboys losing 31-13. The more and more I think about this game, the more and more I think it's going to be a blowout by the Eagles. Maybe even like the last time the Cowboys played at home against Philadelphia. Close in the first half, and then Philly ran away with it. I just don't really buy this Cowboys team. But maybe there'll be a classic Cowboys game, and they'll somehow win a 21-20 ugly slugfest or something. Brett, by the way, producer Brett, also has Philadelphia winning. It's not a good thing when producer Brett is going with the Eagles. That often means Dallas ain't going to win. All right, folks, if you want what I'm wearing, go get your own Mizzen and Main shirt. Comfortable.af's website, and you will not find a more comfortable dress shirt out there. So we will see you guys Sunday for a little Cowboys-Eagles watch party.